time. I know like GA is always a lot of things to discuss. Um, so yeah, thanks for inviting me back again to give another introduction to Wasava. So some of you might be more familiar with Wasava. Some of you might think that this is a new thing. But nevertheless, I'll introduce you. But before that, I just want to share a couple of slides because way back when I was a student, I was also part of IVSA. So let me show you a couple of pictures from a long time ago. So here's a photo of the IVSA committee. So we have a small team, a small committee, and it works kind of well actually at that time. We didn't have that many. We didn't have any of the other extension committees going on at that time. So it was just a small group of people, but quite effective in arranging lots of different student exchange programs. Um, Cultural night always a tradition for IVSA. So it started way back, long time ago. So we get to about 115 national and specialist associations. So we are what we call an association of associations. So all members are associations from various different countries or maybe specialist groups. So we don't take individual members. What we assume is if you're a member of that particular national group, so IVSA is, for example, a specialist association, a member of WASAVA. So all your members, your individual members, automatically we assume that you are also a member of WASAVA. So when we do that head count that way, we have over 390 members worldwide in our community. Like all organizations, we need to have a proper aim, a vision, and a mission so that we know what we are actually working towards. And this words here summarize basically what we do. So if we look at the vision, we want to have all companion animals worldwide to have a good veterinary care so that their health and welfare are optimized. And our mission is basically what we do. So we want to advance the health and welfare of companion animals through education, through committed and collaborative global veterinary community. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, pers- personal and professional development, campaigning for change, and also strengthening the Wasava community. So I've mentioned before that we have so many of us, all of us globally. So how can we do to ensure, everybody is connected and well developed together? There's another slide that shows a little bit more detail in terms of what we do. We'll go through that in a while. In terms of leadership, Wasava Executive Board is made up of 10 board members, myself included, and we are all basically volunteers, basically almost like IVSA board members as well. So we represent, at the moment, the board members, we represent different Wasava global regions. We have Australasia, Europe, North America, Middle East, North Africa, Sub-Sahara Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean. So we have various different parts of the world and almost equal representation throughout the world. Those of you who are familiar with Wasava know that we run a lot of things through our clinical and also non-clinical committees. So the executive board does a lot of governance, but the actual people who's doing stuff are the committee members. And we have many different committees. In fact, we are still growing in terms of our committees. So we have the one that's coming soon, the one that you see without a logo right now, Standards Steering Committee. So we want to have like what is the minimum hospital standards should look like globally. So these are serious questions that the committee has to answer. So we are a growing organizations, and lots of work to be done. So I've mentioned the four focal areas that Wasava works in. So let's look at a couple of things here, look at a couple of examples. The first one, with setting standards. This is where our clinical guidelines comes in. Not just clinical guidelines, we have non-clinical guidelines as well. So for example, professional wellness or mental health. Lots of different things that we create in order to push our standards for veterinary care higher and higher. Aside from guidelines, we also have lots of toolkits so that the veterinary team, when I say veterinary team, usually it doesn't mean the vets only, but you have your vet techs, you have your vet nurses or vet assistants, you have your receptionists, you have the people in the kennels or your cleaners, for example. So the entire team and also the clients as well. So lots of different things that are focused on either the client team or maybe something that you can give to your clients. So we create standards this way. We do a lot of professional development. The other term for professional development is education. So we do a lot of workshops, we do a lot of education. You probably know that we have a congress every year. So this is one of our major educational events. We also have now our online academy and also various webinar series. And I'm sure you may have also heard that we have now podcast series as well. So we are growing in terms of the educational opportunities that every vet team can make use of. We also issue a lot of formal position statements, and position statements actually help us to it's a little bit like a guidelines. It's also a little bit like setting some standards as well. So we can, if we are, for example, lots of ethical type of cases, we aren't sure exactly what kind of answers should be, we can always go towards our position statements. So, for example, we have position statements on mutilation of animals. When I said mutilations, it means something like ear cropping, tail docking, to say that it is now in 2026 we want to stop that because we feel that it does not bring any benefit for the animals. So this is Wasava's position statement. We also try to make changes worldwide, and the one of the ways that we can do that is through position statements, that's one, but also through policies as well. So who's involved in policy making at the international level? We have the World Organization for Animal Health. We have the human counterpart version, which is the World Health Organization. So a lot of these things that they do might be related to things like One Health, that's related to companion animals. So we try to work with them. Um, One of the major things that we are working with right now is on AMR, so antimicrobial resistance work. And Wasava community. So you guys, all our members, our individual members, also our association members are very important to us. So we need to do something to strengthen this community. So we support, for example, emerging veterinary associations. So if maybe in the country that they are just starting to come together, we give a lot of support in terms of how we can build vet associations. Right. So Wasava and IVSA has been working hand in hand for quite a number of years now. So what other opportunities do you have within Wasava? First and foremost, education. What you learn in schools is good, but sometimes you need more practical advice, things that are more case related. So we have the Wasava Academy. And if you go to our website, there's a link there to our Sawa Academy, and we are slowly building more and more courses up there in the academy. We also have what we call the Student Ambassadors Program. So we have representative from you guys to represent the students' point of view and to sit in several of our committees. So, for example, One Health committees or Animal Welfare Committee have a student ambassador there, and it's always good when we are designing tools or designing guidelines to always understand who's going to use it. So that's going to be future vets, which is you. So you represent our future users, basically. So it's always nice to have student ambassadors sitting on our committees. And I've mentioned World Congress. This year, we have our Congress in Poland, in Warsaw, Poland, in October. So take note of the dates. And every year, we also offer very good student rates. So if you want to join as a participant, you can. But more importantly, you can join us as a host. So we have been working hand in hand with IVSA to deliver Congress for quite a number of years now. And each time, I think we have lots of students from IVSA coming in to help us on the ground type of work, which we are very grateful for. So lots of extra hands, for example, maybe helping people to register, to get their name cards right, or to point them out, where which lecture hall is where, and so on. So lots of things that we can do together. So I just want to highlight because part of my background is animal welfare. So before joining the executive board, I was actually a member and then also chair of the animal welfare committee. So I'm more familiar with this particular committee. We do have a student ambassador, but other than that, we develop things like the course on shelter medicine, which needs to be updated now before we upload into the new academy. We also have the animal welfare guidelines. We have other resources. We have different policies, position statements that we make. We have resources, and sometimes we also like to highlight things that are happening around the world regarding animal welfare. So as a student or as a member or basically the veterinary team can also come to our web page. Wutsava's website has a page for each of our committees, so you can browse in terms of the materials that are available there. And lastly, what I want to say is once you've graduated, don't forget to come back into Wasava. We will welcome you as a member. Once you've graduated, I would encourage you, first of all, to join your own National Veterinary Association. So, by being a member of your vet association, you are automatically a member of WASAVA as well. And WASAVA, in a way, is created for the practicing vets. So, all our guidelines, we are thinking of you first and foremost. The education and continuing professional development that we do is also for people, for vets in practice. A lot of networking opportunities is there for vets, and of course, all the change that we want to make is for our veterinary practitioners. So we've taken global issues. So, for example, AMR, I've talked about just now, like antimicrobial resistance, or issue about drug availability. So it happens in a lot of different countries where certain important veterinary drugs might not be available. So we do a lot of these things so that we can impact all veterinary practitioners and all the veterinary teams across the world. And also, don't forget to give your feedback to us. So if you feel like once you've graduated, you're using some of resources, but you think some of it needs to be updated or some of it not so practical for when you are working, so give us feedback on this kind of things. So with these things, we'll take into consideration when we are designing new guidelines or new tools, or maybe updating the existing resources. And of course, don't forget to come back as a Busava volunteer as well. So maybe if you are experienced enough, you gain enough knowledge in certain topics, come back and sit on our committee so you can give back to basically the Wasava community. So that's the end of my presentation. So I hope that you didn't take that much time. So I'll take any questions that you have right now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for your presentation. It's amazing to know more about WhatsApp. I just want to make one comment on one of the opportunities you presented, which is the student ambassador. I will mention it later, maybe in my WhatsApp presentation. But we are doing the rotation very soon, so please stay tuned. Follow IVSA Global Instagram account because now will be can be your chance to become a WhatsApp student ambassador. Agnish?
Yes, I would like to thank again Dr. Natasha Lee for that wonderful presentation. We had the honor of meeting her during the Taiwan Congress. It was a wonderful experience meeting you there and seeing you here again. I hope all our delegates present here, as well as me, get the chance to see you at an event somewhere. I will try to attend Poland. Maybe we meet there again. But yes, thank you for those wonderful presentation on Wasawa and Wasawa activities. We have a bunch of final year students attending this event. I myself am now a graduate, so I am already part of a Wasawa organization. I will now take questions from our delegates. The first question is from Rike from IVSA Germany.
Hello. First of all, thank you so much for the presentation. It's always so nice to hear about Wasava and what is going on. I am interested in attending the next Congress as a student volunteer. Do you already know what timeline the application is going to be, or do you have any information about that?
I think, Tammy, you probably know the answer more than me.
Yes, thank you so much. I think we have Erin still here with us, who is, oh no, she's not here, but Erin Ko is our current volunteer coordinator. You can reach her for any questions related to Wasaba volunteer program to the email I will put in the chat. We will, after this SGA, work on some final things, and hopefully no later than April, mid-April, we'll have the call for volunteers out. But for any questions related to the WhatsApp volunteer program, please reach out to Erin, who is also an ABC official, to the email I just sent in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Our next question is from Susan from IVSA Nepal.
Hi, Dr. Natasha, it's nice to see you over here.
Mhm.
So I wanted to know more about future leadership program which was done in these years. Like, is there any plan for Wasawa to organize this in future too? And like, if this kind of opportunity is available for a student or it is just for graduates veterinarian?
Great. question. So Future Leaders Program is something that we are just only launching this year. So it's the first pilot program. And we actually try to already think ahead. So we are trying to get it sustainable. So we start with a small cohort right now. We see how it goes so that we can learn and improve for the future. So our plan is to actually get it running regularly and also at the same time get it to fund itself basically so that this batch of students, whatever you learn, you can actually pass it on. The aim for future leaders at the moment is quite wide, I would say. So we are talking about people who will eventually be leadership be in a leadership position in your own veterinary associations. So it doesn't matter whether you are a new graduate now or somebody who has maybe 10 or 15 years of experience. If we think you have potential, do apply for this future leader program. And even if you, let's say, for example, you get rejected right now, because we do have quite a lot of applicants, think about applying again in a couple of years time. So maybe you've gotten different experience, so you can showcase that and reapply. So yeah.
Thank you for that, Dr. Natasha. Our next question is from Lucia from IVSA Czech Republic.
Lucia Markova, IVSA Czech Republic. I want to ask about the student ambassador Zava program. Could you give me more information about it? Like, what do you have to do when you're the student ambassador, or how do you apply, and things like that?
So not first of all, not all committees will accept student ambassadors. So it's very selected committees that have. But I would say more and more committees, we are trying to encourage them to get student ambassadors. How they incorporate student ambassadors into the committees will depend on that committee itself. So different committees, the way they work is very different. So the way they also utilize and cooperate with the students can be different. From my perspective, with the Animal Welfare Committee, we usually get the student ambassador to help with maybe coordinating the next meeting, taking some minutes. We also have a couple of programs or events that we actually let the student run. So, for example, during my time, we had a couple of social media video competitions. So we let the student run it, and then we have a vote and gather, basically try to get more people involved in that. So it will depend on the different committees. If I'm not mistaken, the oncology committee, they asked the student volunteer to actually help to run some of the social media, create posts so that we can engage with people on social media. So depends on the committees. So if you have, my advice to you is think of your preference in terms of what topics that you like, and apply for that when the student committee application begins. I think Tammy will have the timeline about that as well.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Actually, I have a meeting. I have to schedule a meeting with Leah to work on the final details about this. But everything will be published on IVSA social media, so follow IVSA Instagram account. I have a WhatsApp presentation to make about my attendance in the Congress, and I'll be able to answer a lot of questions from IVSA side. But just follow both WhatsApp and IVSA accounts.
Thank you so much, Tammy and Natasha. That helped greatly.
Is there any other question for Dr. Lee? Seeing none, I think we are done with the present. Susan.
Last question, Doctor. Like, I also want to raise it out in this flow because I want other members also to know about this. So right now we have Michael's exclusive program which is opened, I guess, at the moment. So can you highlight a bit more about that? Like, what are the like is it just for an student who are still studying, or graduate students can also apply for it? For example, like alumni.
So that one is actually targeted for students. I think if I'm, yeah, for students. But if you are, let's say, a recent graduate and you still have very good connection with your supervisor, that you want to carry out a small little type of research using the grant, please do apply, because there's always going to be exceptions that if we see really good applicants that we can actually make an exception for.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Is there any other question for Dr. Lee? Seeing none, thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for joining. No, I think Lucia, you have a question.
Lucia Markova, IVSA Czech Republic. Follow-up question. If I understood correctly, I have to be a part of my local, like, association to be a part of SAVA. Did I understand that right?
If you are graduated, yes. You need to also check if your National Vet Association, Companion Animal Vet Association, is part of our member as well. Um, but as IVSA member, you are automatically a WASAVA member.
Okay,
That's
thank you.
great. Thank you, Lucia, for your question. So all IVC student members are part of WASAVA, so that's why you guys can enjoy special benefits
Mhm.
that all no other students in the world have. So and you're already IVC member, so that's good. Is there any other question for Dr. Lee? Siddharth?
He's typing the question. Okay. Maybe what I'll do is I'll lurk around your chat for a little while longer. So if you have any further questions, just type it down and then I will answer it in the chat itself.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. That was actually something I will propose. Thank you, because we have to continue with the agenda. Thank you for joining. Thank you to all WASAVA board and members for always being so kind with us. And we're very much looking forward to meet you anytime soon, and for all of our members to be part of WASAVA. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Dr. Lee, for that wonderful presentation, and I hope our delegates had all of their questions answered. Just like with our previous partner presentations, you are free to reach out to our partners via email. We can also ask us the questions and we send it to them and send you the answers back. And Dr. Natasha is a very old IVSA member as well, so she's been through all of this. She was there in Taiwan. She had a wonderful experience there. And she's going to stick around in the chat box for a little bit, so you are free to continue asking questions. Meanwhile, the chair would like to bring this meeting back to order at 2:31 p.m. UTC. I believe the election committee has the floor now that the test elections are done. Before we move on to our next agenda point, election committee, do you want to present the results or do you want to do that afterwards? Tammy?
Tammy Negron, IVSA Exco. I move to table point 32, test election. Test election.
We
Second.
don't. All right, the motion on the floor is to table the point test election until I believe the results are created. Is there any discussion? Any objections? Seeing none, the agenda point is tabled. Just to clarify to our delegates why we are doing this is because we need to compile the results of the test election. And if we complete the test election agenda point, we are not allowed to go back to it, which is why we are tabling it so that we can finish it on later on. All right, the next point on the agenda is final fee of the 75th IVSA Congress in Nepal. And that presentation will be given by Susan, I believe. Or is it Ryan or MOD? Yeah, Susan, you have the floor.
Mm, Thank you, Chia. Susan Aral, IVSA Nepal. So, hi everyone. Since you know that we are elected as an host for 75th IVSA Congress in Nepal in upcoming Morocco, and according to our GA timeline, we are supposed to present our final fee after we have already presented our maximum fee in Taiwan. So, can I ask to share my own screen, or like, can someone
Yes,
move
I
it,
know.
present? So, welcome to 75th IVSA Congress in Nepal, which will be happening from August 2nd to 12th of 2026. So, about IVSA Nepal, International Veterinary Student Association Nepal is the national branch.
committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four key areas of our work, which is setting standards, uh, committed and collaborative global. We have four
it is not possible from our side to go lower than 387.
Committed and collaborative global. We have four
It is not possible from our side to go lower than 387.
committed and collaborative global. We have four
It is not possible from our side to go lower than 387.
committed and collaborative global. We have four
It is not possible from our side to go lower than 387. It is not possible from our side to go lower than 387. Can I like add an answer? So, Susanadal IVS Nepal, I'd like to add a bit about what Chair had said to regarding the previous speaker's question. So yeah, like we could have presented it by being in minus. However, we are not sure that if we are still getting the sponsorship amount is promised or not. We are not sure what exactly would be the sponsorship amount. And since we are also an IVS Nepal is and member organization doesn't have any other source of income, so we would not be able to take loss if we will not get sponsorship amount is promised, and it had happened in past like sponsorship backing out at the last moment. So uh, we tend to keep price in a way that even if we are not getting any sponsors, let's say like even if like not even a single sponsors would say that they are willing to sponsor our event, we'd still be able to host this event.
All right, thank you for that answer, Susan. Before I give the floor to Tammy,
Can I
there is
like add an
a
answer?
wonderful
So,
delegate who has
Susanadal
woken up
IVS
right now
Nepal,
in
I'd
the chat
like to
box.
add a bit
The
about
question from that
what
delegate is, what are the decided
Chair had
fees for
said
each individual
regarding
delegate
the
as of
previous
now? To
speaker's
answer
question.
that
So
question,
yeah,
you
like we
can
could have
see on your
presented it by
screen
being in
the
minus. However, we are
decided
not
fee,
sure
or
that
the
if we
fee
are
that will
still
be
getting
decided
this
right now
sponsorship
is
amount is
387
promised or
euros
not.
without
We are not sure
CF
what
tax.
exactly would be the
CF tax for
sponsorship
IVSA
amount.
is 8%, which
And
means
since we are
the
also
final
an
fee will be in the
IVS
range of
Nepal is
418
and
euros
member organization
per
doesn't have
delegate.
any other
This
source
is
of income,
irrespective of
so
country,
we
region, it is
would
the
not
same
be
for
able
all
to take
delegates,
loss
unless and until you receive a
if we
reduced
will
fee
not get
spot.
sponsorship
The
amount
next
is promised,
question
and
on
it
the
had
floor
happened
is,
in
I
past
believe, from Tammy.
like sponsorship backing out at the last moment.
Tamina
So
IVSA.
we
So I
tend
do
to
have a
keep
question, but I wanted
uh,
to take the time
we
to
tend to
clarify
keep
the
price in a
question
way
from
that
Janet
even
from
if we are
IVSA
not
Crew,
getting any
and
sponsors, let's
explaining
say like
why.
even if
So
like not even a
the
single
criteria
sponsors
for
would say that
reduced
they are willing to
fee
sponsor our
spots
event,
cannot be
we'd still
changed.
be able
The
to
development fund beneficiaries are
host this
already
event.
decided by our bylaws, which means
All
that
right,
it
thank you
cannot
for that
change.
answer, Susan.
So
Before I
unfortunately,
give the
we are
floor
not
to
able
Tammy, there
to
is
accept
a
new amounts
wonderful
into
delegate who
that
has
list.
woken up
It's
right now
decided
in the chat
already
box.
since the
The
beginning of the
question
term,
from that
and
delegate is,
there are
what are
many,
the decided
just some
fees for
countries per
each individual
region.
delegate as of
So I
now?
will, if
To
you want
answer
to know a
that
few
question,
countries
you
there, I
can
will
see on your
suggest
screen the
contact the
decided
AD
fee,
team
or the
to
fee
put
that
that.
will be
Thank you.
decided right now is 387 euros without CF tax.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
that,
that,
Tammy.
Tammy.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
the
that
clarification.
clarification. I
I
believe
believe
Maysoon had her hand up, but she's lowered it since then.
per
Maysoon, do you
delegate.
still have a
This is
question?
irrespective of
So
country,
we
region, it is
would
the same for all
Yes,
delegates.
Mesut
unless and until
Alamzili,
you
IVSA
receive a reduced
Morocco.
fee spot.
I
The
would just
next
like to ask for
question on the
clarification.
floor
What is
is,
the
I believe,
CF
from
tax
Tammy.
and who's in charge of it? Thank you.
So I do have a question, but I wanted to take the time to clarify the
To
question from Janet from IVSA
summarize the
Crew,
previous speaker's question
and
so that everyone
explaining
hears it
why.
clearly,
So
the question from the previous
the
speakers
criteria for
was,
reduced
what is the CF
fee
tax and who
spots
is in
cannot
charge
be
of it?
changed.
To answer that
The
question, I
development
will
fund
again
beneficiaries
take the
are
liberty of
already
doing
decided
so.
by our
CF tax or
bylaws,
central fund tax
which
is a
means that
tax
it cannot
paid
change.
by the
So
organizing
unfortunately,
committee
we are not
to
able to
host the
accept
event
new
to
amounts
IVSA.
into that list.
It
It's
serves as an
decided
additional income
already
for
since the
IVSA
beginning of the
Global as
term,
part
and
of
there are
our
many, just some
incomes,
countries per region.
and that tax
So I
is
will,
fixed
if
at 8%
you
for
want to
any
know
and
your
all
countries
events.
there, I will
So
suggest
it will be 8% of
contact
the
the
final
AD team
fee, which
to
is
put that. Thank you.
387 euros, of which 8% is around 30 euros. So the total fee the delegate will have to pay is 418 euros out of 417 euros, sorry, out of which the 30 euros per delegate will go to IVSA, and that will be used for IVSA activities in the future.
Yes, Mesut
I
Alamzili,
hope that
IVSA
answers
Morocco.
the previous
I
speaker's
would just like
question.
to ask for
Is there a
clarification.
follow-up or
What is
can
the
I move on
CF
to the next
tax
question?
and who's in charge of it? Thank you.
So I do have a question, but I wanted to take the time to clarify the
Seeing no
question from
follow-up
Janet from
question,
IVSA Crew.
the next question in the chat box is, can we go ahead to reduce the fee now as we have
So
sponsorship in Hope as hosting MO as stated after getting approval from this SGA to be the official host? To answer the previous speaker's question, um, it is up to the GA to decide what fees they would like to set it at. They would need to make the calculations to do so and make sure that we are within profit limits or within at least break-even limits so that the OC can officially host the event without any issues. But it is, yes, it is up in the GA's hands to decide whether or not the final fee is approved or not approved. In case there's any objections during this motion, we can go to a vote and that vote will decide whether it is approved or not approved. I see two hands up and the first one I will give to Susan. And that will be used for IVSA activities in the future.
Susan Aral IVS in EPA. So at the
Is
moment,
there a follow-up or can I move on
as
to
I
the next
told
question?
again, since it is still a decided budget, preliminary budget, and we are planning for this event
Seeing no
after
follow-up
like
question,
four
there is a
months.
question in
So
the chat box.
the
Can
fees
we
might
go
also
ahead
increase.
quickly
So
discuss
you need
now
to
as
see it
we
in
are
this way. I
confident and
would
hope
try to
the
say.
memo has
So
started
even
after
if
getting
like
approval from this
think
SGA
the
body.
expenses would increase. For example, right now
To
we are
answer
proposing
the
for
previous
transportations
speaker's
300, and
question,
if it becomes 350, we are not
it's
gonna
up to
come
the
and
GA
ask
to
delegate,
decide
okay, like
what
there is
fees they would like to
increase in
pay
the
as. They
cost,
would need
so
to make the
you guys need to pay a
calculations to
extra
do
bit.
so.
So
And
for
mention that
those
we
kind
have
of
within
situations,
profit
we'd
limits
like
for
to
the
have
day,
a
namely
bit
the
few
fee
extra
can
amount of
demand
money,
as
and
the
even in any
it
sponsors, we are
can
not getting
officially
around
host the event as per
10,000
the
euro or
organization rules.
50,000
But it is
euros.
yes, it is up it, the
For an
GA stands to
example, it
decide
might
whether
be
or
up to
not
like
the final
500 to
fee is
1000
approved or
euros.
not approved. In
So
case the
we might
developer is
require that
successful in
amount
this
of money
process,
to use
it
on
will
those
go to a vote,
cases.
and that vote will decide whether it is approved or not approved.
That's all.
I see two hands up. All right, thank you for that, Susan. The next hand up is Tammy.
Taminagro and IVSA Expo,
Susan Aral
I
IVS
just
in EPA.
wanted to
So at the
mention
moment,
that is
as I
never
told again,
suggested to lower the fee with
since it is still a
unsigned
decided budget, preliminary
sponsors,
budget, and we are planning for
because
this
that could
event
put the
after like
OC and the event
four
in a
months.
very
So
risky
the
situation.
fees
So,
might also
in
increase.
whichever
So you need
event
to see it
you
in this way. I
or
would
any person
try to say.
organizes,
So even if
have
like
plan a budget
think
always
the
with the
expenses
confirmed
would
money, because
increase. For
even with
example, right now we are
contracts, the sponsors
proposing for
can
transportations 300, and
um
if it becomes
retard
350, we
their
are not
support.
gonna come and ask
But as
delegate,
teacher
okay, like there
mentioned, the
is
GA can
increase in the
freely
cost, so
object,
you guys
and
need
we
to
go
pay
to
a
a
extra
vote
bit.
if
So
the final
for
fee
those
is
kind of
not
situations,
the
we'd
best according
like
to
to
the
have
GA.
a bit few extra amount of money, and even in any sponsors, we are not getting around
All
10,000
right, thank
euro
you
or
for
50
those answers
50,000
to all the
euros.
previous speakers. Are
For
there
an
any more
example,
questions
it might be
regarding the
up to
final
like
fee
500 to
of
1000
the
euros.
Nepal Congress?
So we might
I
require
would
that
just
amount of
restate the
money to
motion on the
use on
floor. The
those
motion on the
cases.
floor currently is to approve
That's all.
387 euros without CF tax as the final fee of Nepal. Again, if the GA decides that they are okay with this, the motion goes through, then the final fee is decided. If the GA does not
That is
believe that this
never
is okay, we
suggested
can
to lower the fee
still
with
move to either a vote or
unsigned
continue further discussions regarding
sponsors,
this agenda point.
because that could put the
Are there
OC
any
and
more
the event in a very
questions?
risky situation. So, in whichever
You need
event
to see
you
it in this way. I
or
would
any person
try to
Peter?
say.
organizes,
So even if
have
like
plan a budget
think
always
the
with the
expenses
confirmed
would
money,
Peter Emil
because
increase.
Pedersen,
even with
IVSA
contracts, the
Denmark.
sponsors can
I just want, as
um,
secretary to the
retard
ERO and
their
MOD,
support.
to
But
state
as
that there has
teacher
been
mentioned, the
multiple
GA can
long
freely
discussions on
object,
this
and we go to a vote
preceding this
if
presentation today.
the
So this
final
is
fee
not
is
just
not
the Nepal
the
OC
best according to the
presenting.
GA.
They have been in contact with us and are still working with us. So just
All right,
before
thank you
we
for
head
those
into
answers
this,
to all the previous
either
speakers.
to
Are there any more
simply
questions
approve
regarding the
or to
final
vote if there are any
fee of
objections,
the
I
Nepal
simply wanted to
Congress?
state that
I would just restate the
this
motion
is
on the
not
floor. The
something that
motion
are
on the
easily
floor
changed. We
currently
have
is to
been cutting
approve
down on this a lot from the
387
initial
euros without CF tax
proposal.
as the final fee of Nepal. Again, if
Thank
the
you.
GA decides that they are okay with this, the motion goes through, then the final fee is decided. If the GA does not believe
All right,
that
thank you for
this
that,
is
Peter.
okay,
Any other discussion?
still move to either a vote or continue further discussions regarding this agenda point.
Because that could put the
Are there
OC
any
and
more
the event in a very
questions?
risky situation. So, in whichever event you or any person
Peter?
organizes, have plan a budget always with the confirmed money,
Seeing
Peter
no
because
Nielsen,
discussion, is
IVSA
there any
Denmark.
objection to
I just want,
approving
as
the final fee
secretary
of
to the
Nepal Congress
ERO
as
and MOD,
387 euros
to
without
state
CF
that there has
tax?
been multiple long discussions on this preceding this presentation today. So this is not just the Nepal OC presenting. They have been in contact with us
Seeing
and are
none,
still
the motion
working
on
with
the
us.
floor
So
passes
just
and the
before
final
we head
fee of the
into
Nepal
this,
Congress is
either
approved as
to
387
simply approve
euros
or to
without
vote if
CF
there are any
tax. With
objections,
CF
I
tax,
simply wanted
just
to
for
state
calculation
that
purposes, it is
this is not
417
something that are
euros.
easily changed. We have
Again, this
been
is
cutting
not
down on
separate
this
for
a
different
lot
delegates from
from the
different
initial
regions or countries. It is the same for
proposal.
everyone, with the exception of the three reduced fee spots that are available at the Congress, which you can apply for, during which you will, if you win the reduced fee spot, you will be have to pay only half the fee. All right, the next point on the agenda, before we move on to that, the chair will entertain a motion to go into a 10-minute recess so that everyone can have a toilet break, a snack break before we continue with discussions. Also, just to point out, during this, we will be playing partner presentation while the recess goes on. Peter?
Peter Emil Pedersen, IVSA Denmark. I so move.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. The motion on the floor is to go into a 10-minute recess for a break slash partner presentation for 10 minutes. Is there any discussion? Without CF tax, with CF tax. Any objection? Seeing none, we are now in a 10-minute recess for a break. Also, along with that, we will be playing a partner presentation video. So if you don't have to take a break, you are free to stick around and watch this video. Tammy?
Thank you. So just to keep or to inform everyone, the video that we'll put now is from the Federation of Veterinary Surgeons of Europe, FVE, a very important partner of IVSA. And please pay attention because the speaker in this video was one of us, a very engaged IVSA member from Greece who's currently working in FVE. So maybe that can be one of you in the future, and she will now tell us what does she do in FVE and what FVE has to offer to students. So please pay attention to the video that Magda kindly sent to us. And if you have any questions, I'll send you all the respective emails for you to ask the questions.
Recess for a break slash partner presentation for 10 minutes. Is there any discussion? Without CF tax, with CF tax.
My name is Magda, and I am the Communication and Policy Officer at FA. It is such a pleasure to be here with the IVSA community today. And over the next few minutes, I'm excited to share some essential tools designed specifically to support your students and as you transition from
Thank you.
university into the
So
professional
just to
world.
keep or to
The Federation of Veterinarians of Europe represents the 330,000 veterinarians in 39 countries. The highest level in FE is the GA, which is held twice a year. Here, the members appoint a board to set out strategic actions on topics of interest for the veterinary professions. The board is assisted by our office preparing, developing, and performing policy and activities. The bulk of the work is done by these colleagues based in Brussels. Veterinary organizations, and here you can spot IVSA as well, working together with FVE. And I would like to introduce you to the FVE strategy for 2026-2030. The part of the FVE strategy that matters the most for you as students is the focus on strengthening the veterinary team. FVE has explicitly stated that they want to support veterinarians during transitions like the one you will soon make from university to your first job. They are working to ensure that your future workplaces prioritize well-being, mental health, and equal opportunities. They are also pushing for educational standards that move beyond just medical knowledge to include leadership, digital skills, and business. This slide shows the incredible collaboration that has taken place over the last years. Currently, IVSA students are already part of IFV working groups advising on everything from animal welfare and medicines to mental well-being and veterinary education. And I have some very exciting news. In the coming months, most of these groups will be renewed, and this is a rare opportunity for you to expand your professional knowledge and influence European veterinary policy before you even graduate. For the first time, the IVSA representative in each group will be a full member. This means that all travel expenses for in-person meetings, including your flights and accommodation, will be fully covered. If you want to build a world-class networks and gain experience, please keep a close eye to both FV's and IVSA social media. Announcements and application details will be posted there soon. Don't miss this. It's important to note the strong and long-standing collaboration between FV and IVSA. And this is not just a partnership on paper. For example, the FE office in Brussels actually hosts IVSA headquarters. FE provides internship opportunities for students like Margot and Lorraine, whom you see the photos, allowing them to gain first-hand experience on international advocacy. And we also work together on joint webinars and workshops, such as our session on how to write policy papers. One of the most impactful parts of the FV and the MSD Animal Health Partnership is the Veterinary Student Scholarship Program. Over the last 9 years, this has provided financial support and recognitions to nearly 400 students. On the right side of the slide, you can see the 2025 scholarship winners. If you are looking for support in your own studies, application for the next scholarship cycle will open this coming September. Profession in Europe is growing, with approximately 330,000 veterinarians in Europe. This represents a 6% rise since the last estimate in the 2018 report. It is important to note that it's a young and female-led profession, and the profession is shifting. 42% of us are under age of 40, and women now make up to 65% of the total workforce. The latest edition of the survey, the VET survey, is open right now, and it is the most important data tool we have to advocate for the profession. A new report is coming, so I will advise you to keep an eye out over the next few months, as FV will be publishing a brand new comprehensive report of the state of European veterinary profession. Moving on, we will talk about VetZoe and what VetZoe is. Basically, VetZoe aims to support the veterinary profession at every stage of the career path. Through our targeted programs, the platform provides a framework for navigating the transition from university to the workforce. It's a resource to build and to help new grads enter the profession with confidence and suitable approach to the work. Funding has been secured for another year to continue this mission. When visiting the VetZoe website, you can find the Choosing a Career sections, where highlights that veterinary studies lead to many opportunities beyond clinical practice that we usually don't have in mind. As the site mentions, there are countless ways for a veterinarian to save lives, and students are encouraged to dream further. The specific area of the platform serves as a starting point for discovering all the different career paths that a DVM degree opens up. To give a clear visual for these options, the next slide features an incredible map that breaks these paths down in detail. IVSA scope profession map, which you can see here, it's not just a static list. It's an interactive ecosystem that breaks down sectors like public policy, research, and industry. By scanning the QR code, you'll be taken directly to VetZoe website, where you can explore this map by yourself. And each section even includes video interviews with veterinarians actually working in those fields, giving you a real look at what your future could look like. Here are some examples of the different career paths, and you can explore further by yourself by visiting the veterinary profession map. The next initiative I want to share is the Vet for a Day. And this is really nice because it's a fantastic outreach program where veterinary students visit high schools to promote veterinary studies and show younger students how broad our profession really is. It is a really nice opportunity for you to share your own experiences and passions for the field. To encourage participations, there are some incredible rewards. Students who take part have the chance to win a reduced registration fees or even free spots for the European Symposium this May, IVSA European Symposium. Please note that this is for the MOs of IVSA Europe, and you can find the official IVSA Europe Instagram post here and on IVSA Europe social media, so you can check out full details and see how your MO can get involved. The recent collaboration I want to highlight at this point is the IVSA FE survey on veterinary career choices, and that's because we are seeing a significant global trend where more veterinarians are choosing companion animals practice, leading to serious shortages in livestock, food safety, and public health roles. While there have been many attempts to fix this, we still lack a systematic, evidence-based understanding on why these paths are being avoided. This survey is designed to change that by identifying the factors that influence your career decisions. If you haven't filled out yet, your voice is essential. You can scan the QR code right here. You can see on the screen to participate, and you can also find the post on the social media pages of both IVSA Europe and FE. By taking a few minutes to complete this, you are helping to design the future of our profession. To wrap things up, the best way to stay updated on all the projects we discussed today and to see what's coming next is to follow FE's social media channels. By staying connected, you're not just following a page. You are staying informed about the policies and opportunities that will direct shape your future and career. Thank you for your time today. I look forward to seeing how we can all work together and bring more joy and clarity to the veterinary profession. If you would like to contact us, here is our website, and here is my email as well. And again, thank you for your time.
Hello, everyone. Peter from IVSA Denmark and part of the officials. We're just currently still having the break. So for the time being, consider it an extension of 5 to 10 minutes. If you need to go get a snack, use the restroom, now would be a great time. And then we expect to see you here back in no later than 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
29 p.m. UTC. Before we proceed with the agenda points, we will do a quick roll call, just present from all our IVSA MOs, active MOs, so that we know we have quorum for the next discussion.
Jisutan IVSA Exco. Yes, thank you, Chair. I will now proceed with the roll call for active MO. But just in case you guys couldn't hear me, just let me know because I was having some connection issue. That's also why I off my camera. Okay, then again we will do the same for the roll call, and I will start with IVSA Chile.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA China.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Czech Republic.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Denmark. IVSA Denmark.
Denmark's here with the officials offline, so you can mark him present.
All right. IVSA Germany.
Present.
Present. Present.
Thank you. IVSA Ghana.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Greece.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Hungary. IVSA Hungary. Okay. IVSA India.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Indonesia. IVSA Indonesia. IVSA Italy.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Japan. IVSA Japan. Right. IVSA Latvia.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Malaysia.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Mexico.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Morocco.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Nepal.
Present.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Nigeria.
Present.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Peru.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Philippines.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Serbia.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Slovakia.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Slovenia. IVSA Slovenia. All right, down here. IVSA Sweden. IVSA Sweden. IVSA Taiwan.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Thailand.
Present.
Thank you. IVSA Turkey.
Present.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, everyone. The quorum, we still have the quorum achieved. It's 48.89%, and we can proceed with the GA. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Shu. Now that we have quorum, we can continue with the next agenda point for today, and that is presentation of the final fee of the 75th IVSA Symposium in Rwanda. And that will be Tammy, I believe.
Yes, Tammy Negron, IVSA Exco, and its maximum fee of the 75th IVSA Symposium in Rwanda. But I would like to inform the GA that instead of the maximum fee, what I will present is a GA resolution, and you're already used to GA resolutions. So I will share my screen of the GA resolution that I will present. And while I explain, you can read all of the points that are there. So basically, during the past Congress in Taiwan, we elected without a vote since IVSA Rwanda to host the 75th IVSA Symposium in 2027, since they were the only nominees to host this event. They were working with our current nominee, sorry, no nominee, MOD, to prepare their final fee presentation for this event. However, given multiple circumstances and also a decision and approved by the executive committee, we decided to bring this GA resolution that basically states that realizing the importance of having IVSA events organized and structured according to the bylaws in a timely manner, and also taking note of the work the OC has put into planning the event, and recognizing the unexpected obstacles the organizing committee and their members experienced during the planning of the event, it is decided that IVSA Rwanda will sign the contract for OC for the symposium before 1st of May of this year, and IVSA Rwanda will have to submit itinerary and budget to the executive committee for approval by the 1st of May, and the executive committee will decide on the maximum fee that won't exceed 400 euros. If the IVSA Exco decides to not approve the submitted itinerary and budget, the symposium will be held as a special general assembly. This means that if this GA resolution passes, the IVSA Exco will decide on the maximum fee, but we want to ensure delegates that it won't exceed the 400 euros. That's it. Thank you.
I missed the last sentence, I believe, but did you make a motion, Tammy?
I move to approve the GA resolution of the 75th IVSA Symposium in 2027.
All right, just to summarize the previous speaker's motion, the motion on the floor currently is to approve the GA resolution as it stands. What the GA resolution means for all our delegates, just to give a background / summary. Based on our bylaws and constitution, whichever host country is creating or part of the hosting committee, they are required to submit the maximum fee of an event 2 events prior to the event happening. So since Rwanda is 2 events later, right now we need to approve the maximum fee that Rwanda Symposium is allowed to have. And at the Nepal Congress is when we will approve the final fee, similar to what we did for the Nepal Congress right now, that we approved the final fee at the previous event. Now, due to budgetary constraints and other issues that the Rwanda OCS faced, they are unable to submit a maximum fee presentation to the General Assembly, due to which they are requesting special circumstances where they would like the GA to allow them to submit the maximum fee of the symposium on a later date. However, since we don't have a General Assembly taking place before Nepal, again, it is the GA will resolve, if they approve this motion, the GA will resolve that the final fee will be approved by the executive committee of IVSA before 1st of May 2026. Are there any questions? Is there any discussion regarding the motion on the floor? Rike.
Rike Sandker, IVSA Germany. Just first of all, to clarify, we're still talking about the maximum fee, not the final fee, right? Okay, because
Yes.
there was like different. Okay. And second question, maybe we can, or it could be a little bit more explained on what the issues were and how Exco or like the OC is trying to resolve those issues, so we can have a good itinerary and good budget and whatsoever at the 1st of May?
All right, thank you for that question. Before I give the floor to Ryan or MOD, the chair would like to recognize the presence of IVSA Indonesia in the GA. Please mark them present, Shiv. And the floor goes to Ryan to answer the previous speaker's question.
Ryan Sakara, I'm a Exco. So I have been working with the Rwanda OC for the past 2-3 weeks leading up to the SGA. So currently the problem stands is that the budget is financially not feasible because as it stands, the Rwanda OC has at least currently not been able to secure any sponsors. And also with all the costs that have been taking place, it is still financially, the budget is in a loss. And so one thing is that obviously we do not want the OC to face such a loss because making this event at such a loss would not be possible for them. And neither do we want you delegates to, we want you delegates to have a good experience. So in order to have this budget be more financially feasible for the OC and for the delegates, this is why all the issues that have come up. So,
All right, thank you for that answer. Tammy, do you want to give a follow-up to Ryan's answer? Yeah, Tammy, your floor is yours.
Thank you, Tammy Negron, IVSA Exco. So basically, this is the previous speaker mentioned. The OC was not in a position to have a positive budget, but it was way a lot in negative. However, in the last hours, I will say in the last 48 hours, they submitted a positive budget to us. However, with the experience that I and the MOD have, we both have in organizing events, we believe that some costs might be underestimated. And we believe it's better for them to not take any rush decisions just for the sake of presenting the maximum fee. That's why we would love to to have a bit more time to prepare the budget in a better way. In case that's the correct version, we will approve it and the maximum fee won't exceed €400. In case they realize it's not possible, their maximum fee is higher, or there are any other problems, as stated in the resolution, this event will be held as a special General Assembly. And by that time, the president-elect you will choose tomorrow will be also involved in that, since it's gonna be happening during an event during the next term.
All right, thank you for that clarification, Tammy. The next question on the floor is Dr. Fortune from IVS Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fortune, IVS in Nigeria. I'm particularly concerned with the last sentence here. If the executive committee decides not to approve the submitted itinerary and budget, the 75th IVSA Symposium will be held as a special General Assembly. My question is there a way the General Assembly can be made aware of the submitted budget by IVSA Rwanda? Is there a way? Because I recall Tammy mentioned about 2 weeks ago, or 48 hours ago, that the budget was submitted. Is there a way the General Assembly can be made aware of the current maximum fee that was submitted by the NO?
To summarize the question from the previous speaker for all our delegates, the speaker asked for what the current budget and current maximum fee is, what Rwanda has submitted, and has asked for clarifications regarding that. Tammy or Ryan, which one of you would like to answer this question? Tammy?
Tammy Negron, IVSA Exco. I would like to check if we can present it. However, as I explained, the last version we have, it's in positive with a maximum fee less than €400, because again, this is the maximum fee. However, we believe that if we present the budget in that way, with the OC have worked on that in the last 24 hours, it's a rush decision, and we prefer to give them more time so they can prepare a better structure of the budget, so we can approve it, and then if approved, it can go to a final fee presentation during our Congress in Nepal. But I don't know, Ryan.
Thank you for that clarification. Is there further discussion regarding this motion? Dr. Fortune.
Thank you for the floor, Chair. Dr. Fortune, IVSA Nigeria. But could we, I understand you, Tammy, could we have a certainty that the General Assembly could look into this budget, probably at the next Congress at Nepal? Or is there any certainty that the Executive Committee will approve the submitted itinerary and budget so that the General Assembly at Nepal could make a final agreement on whether the budget is being passed or not?
Just to clarify, the previous speaker's question is whether or not the General Assembly will be updated by EXCO on what happened with the Rwanda Symposium. Is that your question?
My question is whether the General Assembly would have the deciding factor as to whether the budget is approved or not.
So, all right, the floor goes to Tammy.
Tammy Negro and IVSA Exco. If I understood correctly, the previous speaker question was if the General Assembly will have the right to decide on this. So by approving this EA resolution, your delegates are giving IVSA Executive Committee the rights to decide vote on the maximum fee, which again won't exceed 400 euros as stated in the GA resolution, and all IVSA members will inform of the outcome of this by the MOD. If it's approved and we have maximum fee, the MOD will inform everyone that the Rwandosi will continue working on it for the final fee presentation during the Congress in Nepal. In case it's not approved, we'll inform all MOs with the next future elected president-elect about the procedures that will follow, since it's going to be an event happening in the next trip.
All right, thank you for that clarification. Is there further discussion regarding the motion on the floor? Dr. Fortune, yes.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Dr. Fortune, IVSA Nigeria. Sorry. So what I'm asking now is if the Executive Committee does not approve the submitted itinerary by before 1st of May, and the MOD informs or gets to inform the General Assembly of the decisions of the Executive Committee, would the GA not have, or would the GA have any rights to alter or make amends to the decision, make amends to the budget? That is my question, if it is not approved by the Executive Committee.
Thank you for that question, Dr. Fortune. That is actually quite a very good question. To take the liberty of answering this question as chair of the General Assembly, the General Assembly is the supreme decision-making body of IVSA. However, with the presented resolution as it is, the General Assembly is allowing the Executive Committee to take a decision on behalf of them in case there are because of the issues that the Rwanda Symposium has presented to us. Now, in case Rwanda OC fails to submit a budget less than 400 euros or fails to submit an appropriate plan for the symposium by the deadline, and the Executive Committee does not approve this event, and this event goes into being hosted as a special General Assembly, the General Assembly during the Nepal Congress cannot reverse this decision, because it is us, the General Assembly, that gave the Executive Committee the power to decide on what to do for this event by this resolution. I hope that is clear. If you would like, you can have follow-up questions to this. Is there any other discussion regarding the motion on the floor? Rike.
Rike Zanke, IVSA Germany. So in case we would go into a special General Assembly, in case the 1st May deadline would not be made, would the hosting the SGA be on an open call again, or would EXCO try to work with Rwanda to figure out a way to still for them to be the host?
I would give the floor to Tammy first.
Tammy Negron, IVSA Exco, thank you for the question. So as I mentioned before, if not approved, it will become a special general assembly, for which I cannot give an answer on how it will work because it will be up to discussion and decision of the next, no, of this Exco with the next president-elect. However, we can decide on many options. The first one can be working with Rwanda OC to see if they can manage. So in special general assembly, the most important thing to have are the GA. So maybe shortening the days of the event can be an option to make the event work. If it still does not work, we can discuss with the exco and president-elect if open a call will be the best option. If not, making it online. Like there are many possible options that we can have when moving to an SGA. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the clarification. We have another question from Dr. Fortune. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'm Dr. Fortune, IVSA, Nigeria. I want to thank Tammy for this suggestion of hers in terms of bringing up options for in terms of bringing up options just in case the budget is not approved by the set dates, or if the budget does not accommodate maximum fee exceeding 400 euros. So I want to chip in that IVSA is on inclusivity, and by virtue of this symposium, IVSA Rwanda being the first global symposium being held in the region, I believe that the global body should be supportive in helping the MO arrange a budget that will be suiting and benefiting for both the OC and the delegates that are planning to attend the symposium. So all support should be given to the MO to enable a realizable budget that is going to be either 400 or below 400 euros per delegate, instead of pushing, or rather making the symposium a special general assembly. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Dr. Fortune. Unfortunately, I was unable to hear the question fully, which is why I'll not be able to summarize what was said. I would request you to write the question in the chat box as well so that I can convey it to the GA properly. Until Dr. Fortune writes his question/statement in the chat box, is there any other discussion? Delegates, please do ask as many questions as possible so that we are able to answer all of them, because this is an important milestone in IVSA's planning of events and IVSA's participation across everywhere, and making sure all our events are accessible to all our members, so that everyone can show up and everyone can be part of live events. Live events obviously come with their own separate set of challenges, unlike an online one where everyone can attend. We do have a factor of travel, we do have a factor of visa, we have a factor of fees. So that was weird. So please do continue asking questions. And yeah, Rike.
Rike Sandke, IVSA Germany.
I just want to have a clarification on the third point for the decision, in which states that we're gonna have the maximum fee for 400 euros. Would it make sense to clarify that that is without CF tax, because otherwise, because then the fee could actually, like, the final fee could be over 400 if we don't clarify that. Does that make sense?
Thank you for that question, Rika. Yes, that does make sense. Would you like to move for an amendment?
I can. Okay. Rika Sonka, IVSA Germany. I move to amend the GA resolution to add without CF text, maximum fee without CF text to the resolution.
All right, thank you for that. We still need a second, by the way.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. The motion on the floor is to add the following statement to the existing resolution. The IVSA Executive Committee 2025-26 will decide on the maximum fee that won't exceed 400 euros without CF tax. Is there any discussion to motion on the floor? Any objections? Seeing none, the motion passes, and that is the addition to the resolution. We go back to the original motion on the floor, where the motion on the floor is to approve it as it stands. And we have Dr. Fortune's comment/question in the chat box, which I will read for everyone verbatim. I'm requesting that the executive committee support the hosting MO to come up with a realizable budget to enable the MO host the global symposium in 2027. By virtue of being the first symposium in the region, global body should heavily be in support of making the hosting MO come up with a feasible budget and itinerary for the symposium, and not opting to disprove their hosting right and opening a new call for hosting the symposium or adjusting to a special general assembly. Before our president and MOD answer that statement, I will take the liberty of answering it myself. We, as the GA or as the MOD or as the team of officials, are not pushing to cancel the event. We are currently pushing to have as much support as possible for the Rwanda Symposium so that we can make it financially possible. Our last option, in case that still fails, is only then do we go for a special general assembly. I will give the floor to Ryan first.
Ryan Sequeira, IVC Exco. So yes, I will have to agree with what the chair has mentioned. Again, as our president mentioned that the reason we are going for this GA resolution is that in the last 48 hours, a lot of changes were made to the budget, and they were made quite quickly. So just to ensure that these changes were made, just to make sure that these changes are proper and that later on it doesn't affect the maximum fee, we want to give the Rwanda OC more time just to make sure that they also have everything finalized and that it does not affect the maximum fee in any way as we move on towards the Congress meeting.
All right, thank you for that clarification. Tammy?
Tammy Negron, IVSA Exco. I do agree with the last comment sent in the chat that canceling is always the last option. And coming from a country and having organized an event, and I believe a region, my region, which almost no in so many years after Brazil organized an event, I understand that it's very important for the region. However, we should always have all possibilities. As I won't talk, because the Moody already talked, so I will talk as the president. We will always support all members, all MOs, and all organizing committees to have the best event possible. That's what the MOD team was doing as soon as Rwanda got elected. That's why we want to give them more time to prepare a better budget and for the IVC Executive Committee to approve it. Otherwise, if our intention would have been to not support them, we could just come here and present the budget that they have right now. And if any costs or things were higher for the presentation in Nepal, then it would have been another hard decision for the GA in Nepal to take care of, and that will be a bit late in the term because then the event will be happening in some months, less than 7 months. So that's why we are also presenting this GA resolution, because our intention is to support DMO and to help the organizing committee to present a better proposal. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that clarification. And we have another question in the chat box. What happens when an MO wants to participate but cannot afford to? At an offline event, if an MO is unable to be present during the General Assembly offline, they are not counted as part of the either the voting delegates or as part of the delegates who are present. They essentially carry on with their activities without having a say in the matters of the General Assembly at that event. That is what happens when an MO isn't present. Is there any other discussion regarding the motion on the floor? Also, I would like to take a moment and apologize to all the delegates. We are slightly over time today because of all the long discussions we've had today. However, since we've not finished today's agenda points, we will be continuing slightly late until after a couple more agenda points, so that tomorrow we do not have too many agenda points left. Again, why? Is because the GA cannot be adjourned without the agenda being completed. So in case we do have too many agenda points left over tomorrow as well, we will end up going overtime tomorrow too. So just to catch up to our agenda points, we will continue with our schedule today. Just a little bit extra overtime. Is there any other discussion regarding the motion on the floor? Seeing none, is there any objections for the motion on the floor? The motion on the floor is to approve the GA resolution as it stands. Seeing none, the resolution passes. The Rwandan OC will be given extra time to organize their budget and make sure that we have enough fees and enough budget to organize the event successfully. And the next agenda point on this is on today's plan, SGA1 onwards. However, the chair will entertain a motion to untable agenda point 32 for the election committee to present the test elections. Stavros?
Stavros Labat here is IVSA Germany. I so move.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. The motion on the floor is to untable agenda point 32, test election, so that we can display the test election results. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, the motion passes and the agenda point is untabled. The floor goes to the election committee, and that I believe is Omar.
Ömer Parkaran, IVSA Turkey. Thank you. Now I will be sharing the results of the test election. Yes. Let's do this. 1 second. Yes. So our first question was, who would be the fastest skier to reach the goal? And with this question, it was a multiple answer question, so multiple choice question. So the voters could only choose dog or a cat, or choose to abstain from voting. And dog won with 28 votes, with 56% of the votes. And our next question was, which countries would you like to visit next? And with this question being the priority, how does this go? Preferential voting. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. The voters should need to vote their preferences, and because there was 4 options, the winner of this question was chosen after the within third round. Yes. in 3 rounds. So in the round 1, because Turkey, unfortunately, oops, my screen, huh? Okay, sorry. Because Turkey got the least votes, it was eliminated, and in the second round, why is my screen so? But I don't. In the second round, with the least votes, unfortunately, Mexico has been eliminated, and with the last 2 options, Greece with the least votes than Korea has been eliminated, and the winner was South Korea with the total votes of 27 and 56.3%. And for our last question, it was, what ice cream flavor do you like the most? The same. This question is in the same. It was the same like the last question. It was a preferential voting, and with the again same procedures with the least of the least option that got the votes, least vote that least option that got the least votes. Sorry, it's been eliminated round by round, and with that being, chocolate has won with a total of 25 votes and 54.3%. And this was all with the election results. Thank you. However, I would like to continue with an announcement from the election committee. And to do that, I would like to invite both of the nominees out of the meeting. And to do that, I'm gonna need a second of your time. Thank you.
update, and that is Rebecca. Is Rebecca in the meeting?
Yes, hello everyone. Rebecca,
You have the floor.
IVSA Expo. Okay, hello everyone. It's a great honor and my pleasure to be speaking here in front of you on this online platform. And I try to rush a bit through my presentation as we are a bit in delay. So, yeah, next slide, please. Yes, I'm your public relations coordinator. Hello. Next slide, please. So yes, what is public relations? It's a bit of a background team. So there's lots going on behind the scenes, and without a great team, I wouldn't be able to do like most of my tasks, basically. And I am proud to present my team here, my beautiful secretaries, Vendela Ratajova from Czech Republic, Nada Fdil from Morocco, Naveen Joseph Vincent from IVSA Hungary, Prashana Dahal from Nepal, and Wilka Kayoko from Namibia. And I'm very, very grateful and proud of each one of you. Yes, so what are we doing as the public relations team? And if you have any questions, feel free to note them down and reach out to me at any time, in case it's going to be fast, maybe. So what is public relations doing? Basically, we have, in simple terms, we are the voice and the visual identity of IVSA, and we try to make sure that IVSA is represented in a professional, consistent, and recognizable way across all platforms and activities worldwide, basically. And what is included in these responsibilities, here you can see the four liners. So one of them is IVSA branding. So we try to ensure that logos, colors, templates, and overall visual identity are used correctly and consistently within our teams. Then we also spread the IVSA information. We coordinate publications, create presentations, for example, the IVSA presentation that MOs and LCs may use to present IVSA to new members, and we also supervise booklets. Then we also do training sessions within our teams. We like this to do in collaborations and create guidelines on branding and graphic management. And of course, we are also managing the social media network of IVSA Global and also the website. And next slide, please. Yes, so here are our main tools. Canva is our best friend, of course, and whoever is creating any posts understands me here, I guess. We also use ClueUp as our for the editing of our monthly newsletter, the bulletin, and yes. So what have we done in our team? We had a brainstorming team meeting in the beginning where we distributed our responsibilities. And we were taking care of the remaining tasks, of a few remaining tasks from the past term, like certificate creation, and there was a lot to do with the website going on. Next slide, please. And we have a few ongoing tasks, like the newsletter, the monthly newsletter, which my secretary Vendula is helping me a lot with. Here we publish news of our teams, but also share opportunities and showcase their articles within the IVSA bulletin. So it's worth to open it monthly. And we are collecting materials from many teams, including external sponsors and partners, which is why sometimes it takes quite a long time to gather all these materials. And yeah, sometimes don't wonder why it's not sent out on the first of in the month. It's sometimes difficult. Next slide, please. Yes, this is sometimes how it feels. Next slide. And then we have the ongoing, we also manage the IVSA Global Instagram account. If you are not following yet, please scan the QR code and follow in now. Here, this is, I would say, our main channel. The posts go out here the first, but next to all our other channels, and we're quite proud. We had to create a new account last term, as through meta issues, our initial account got deleted. And since June, we gathered followers from here. You can see it, 2,500. I think by now it's already increased, as I took the screenshot somewhere last week. We are also gathering or keeping track of our dashboards and insights, because it's quite important to show sponsors and partners as well what our community and network basically can do for them, and how broad our reach is. Next slide, please. This is how I feel sometimes when managing a global account. Next slide, please. Yes. So within our IVSA global level, we also have the IVSA MOD account and also the IVSA DAD, managed by my beautiful secretaries, Wilka and Nada. Please also give a follow here if you haven't done so far. Next slide, please. And then our other channels are the IVSA page on Facebook, and then our LinkedIn account, and we also try to be more active on X. And then on the next slide, we also have the YouTube channel that we try to keep alive, and we have some plans in future to. Right now we have our the GA, for example, right now is going here live, and stay tuned for some content creation here as well. Next slide. And then there are many other things that we are doing, and all of my secretaries are helping in here as well. So big shout out. So here they are listed. We do collaborative posts with the standing committees and networks, regions, and the other teams. We publish the policy papers. We create recap posts because we want to have transparency of what IVSA Global members are also doing when they attend events. We try to showcase this as well. The website management, we have recently implemented the events calendar on it, and also we try to put all the opportunities that we can have, that we are offered by our sponsors and partners. And then we are also, which is in the field of IVSA branding, we are creating the business cards, the video call backgrounds, design the official shirts, and create logos, for example, for the ambassadors, and so on. Yes, and another event, next slide, please. We were holding a collaborative training session with the Standing Committee on Career Attributes. And it went quite well. We did here, you already heard from this in the updates of SGA. It was on IVSA branding and public relation tools. Designs went quite well. It was a fun session. And what's up next for the next half of the term? We want to work on, next slide. Basically, we are supervising and helping out wherever it's needed, also in the Congress preparations. the IVSA journal is around the corner for us to edit. It's not so. Our bulletin is basically the monthly newsletter. It's a small version of a newsletter, and the IVSA journal will be like a bigger magazine and more of a year wrap up. And yes, some carousels are in our minds to create about officials' positions and more. And next slide. If you have any questions, and if you are interested in stepping into public relations, it's really important to have a big team here because there are many things to think about and to deal with, and we need, of course, dedicated team member. And I'm very happy if any of you are interested in more. I can give you more information, answer questions, and you can reach out to me directly at publicrelations@ivsa.org at any time. And thank you for your attention. And I hope you all enjoy the GA, the rest of the GA. Thank you. I give the floor back to Agnes, to the chair.
Thank you for that presentation, Rebecca. Does anyone have any questions for the PRC and her update regarding the work of the PRC team for the past 6 months? Seeing no questions, we move on to the next agenda point, and that is the Development Aid Director update, and that is Ignacio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Abnesh. Hello, everyone. Ignacio Salazar, IVSA Exco. So today I'm going to present my presentation of the things that we did in these first months of the first semester of the term. So yeah, next slide, please. So first of all, I want to thank my team for all their support during this first half of the term, because they have been constantly supporting me with new ideas, managing decisions, and being very committed to their jobs. I'm very grateful to them. I really appreciate their attention, support, and above all, patience. So thank you very much, Anna and Nada, for everything. Next slide, please. So during this time, activities have been carried out that typically involve continuing with projects from the previous terms and finalizing each of them. So the first thing is the payments to MOS beneficiaries from the membership fee fund, term 2024-2025. And the list of the MOs that won the membership fee fund was reviewed in order to pay their annual membership fee for the 2025-2026 term. This is a very significant opportunity for the winning members and undoubtedly helps MOs stay interested and committed as members. Once again, congratulations to IVSA India, Philippines, Malawi, Nigeria, Ghana, Venezuela, and Tanzania. So the second part of this is the payments of the DAD scholarship grant. During this time, we have maintained direct communication with each of the DAD scholarship grant winners to process their internship reimbursement. We check that each of the reports is in order, such as the evidence of their internships, and thank you to the participants for being so patient and for your wonderful evidence of your internships. We are very excited that you will be able to watch the video, so stay tuned to our social media channels. Once again, congratulations to Sriya from IVSA India, Elisu from IVSA Nigeria, and Sakin from IVSA Nepal. The next thing is the payment of the annual IVSA membership of IVSA Sri Lanka. Due to the situation facing IVSA Sri Lanka as a result of damage caused by recent flooding at the faculty to which this MO belongs, the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and Animal Science at the University of Veranilla, we have decided to support them by paying their membership fee for the 2025-2026 term, thereby reducing their concerns as members and allowing them to continue to be members of IVSA, taking advantage of all the opportunities and benefits of this term. In addition, if you would like to support this MO, please remember that we have a post about the situation on the IVSA Global Instagram account where we will share financial information from IVSA Sri Lanka in case you would like to support them. So the last thing of this slide is the meeting that we have with ProSalud Foundation. We had a meeting with ProSalud, the president, Dr. Gabriel Varga, and the director, Dr. Alex Marco. So about ProSalud's missions is very briefly is a global charity that supports veterinarians, animals, their owners, and their environment. They work to transform animal health and welfare in the world's most needy areas by strengthening the skills, knowledge, and resources of veterinarians. They do this by providing continuing education resources, research, mentoring, and other support. They do all this as a part of an integrated One Health approach to improve the well-being of animals, people, and their environment. What we talked with them basically was to help the DF in two ways. The first thing is that with their opportunities with AFSCAN, that is from African Small Animal Companion Animal, scholarships like AFSCAN Studentship Award and AFSCAN Research Award that probably will help the alumni members, and that will have a lot of other members of IVSA Ethiopia, IVSA Ghana, IVSA Kenya, IVSA Namibia, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia. And also in the other way, they will help us with the diffusion of the DF in their global platform. That way, the DF will increase visibility. And finally, they commented that they are planning to expand into other regions such as Asia, and Latin America, and expresses their enormous interest in collaborating with our MOs in these regions. So, yeah, that's for the updates that we did during these 6 months. So, next slide, please. So for the Define Award opportunity, I really encourage all MO members to apply for this opportunity and collaborate for this award. We really need the participation of the MO, so please think of ideas on how to carry out these activities. Ideas such as online veterinary lectures or seminars that require some kind of registration fee, using certificates for talks, or online sales of merchandise from your MO and local chapters. You can also hold offline events such as veterinary workshops, movie night, food sales, etc., which I believe will help you a lot with your members, local chapters, and even as AMOs. And well, you will be participating to win excellent prizes. Next slide, please. Okay, for the silent auction, so all of you know that we had these events like silent and live auction, but for this specific event, we held on Thursdays, March 6th, we held a small silent auction where we are hosting the event in person here in Thessaloniki, where members of IVSA Finland also participated and support us during the auction. So the silent auction is will be displayed in one big room action items, and also delegates can write their name and MO, usually bidding number, and the price they're willing to pay on the bidding paper for that specific item. Next slide, please. So for the IVSA DF bank account details, a quick reminder that we have enabled donations through DonorBox. So once again, it's very easy to make donations. So if you as a members, local chapters, or MOs would like to support the DF, you can do using this code. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact us and we will be happy to help you. I invite you to make donations so that we can support many more members with all of opportunities, and thus continue to enable several members to continue their professional development and attend IVSA events. Next slide, please. Yeah. As Rebecca mentioned, we have our Instagram account that is kind of kind of new. So please, I would like to invite you once again to follow us on social media so that you can stay informed about all the opportunities we currently have available and those that will be announced soon. In addition, I would like to ask all regional reps and MO presidents to help me spread the word about the opportunities and activities offered by the DF. Next slide, please. For our upcoming projects, for the second half of the term, we will be announcing the following opportunities, such as DAD Scholarship Grant. This is an opportunity for members who feel that they need financial support to undertake some kind of internship or externships in the coming months. Also, we will announce the DAD Travel Grant. This consists of financial support for members who wish to attend the Congress, but find it difficult to do so to the excessive travel expenses. This is opportunity will be announced when the registration to attend the conference in Nepal begins. For the membership fee fund, this is an opportunity for those MOs who find it difficult to pay their IVSA annual membership fees term by term. When they apply for this opportunity and if they are selected as one of the winners, the DF will cover their membership fee for the next term. I mean 2026, 2027. And for the membership sponsorship project, on the other hand, if there are members, local chapters, or MOs that want to support an MO in paying for its membership for the next year, they can also do so through this opportunity. Remember that the IVSA Global membership fee varies greatly depending on the GDP factor of each MO and the membership they choose based on the number of members they have. Promotion of the DAD projects. Regarding the dissemination of the DF activities, please stay tuned to the various communication channels we use because we will be sharing all these opportunities on the members portal, regional WhatsApp groups, Instagram, Facebook, and in more detail via Gmail. And next slide, please. IVSA merchandise and auctions for regional symposium. Regarding the participation of the DAD team, we will be communicating with the organizing committee to carry out activities that support the DF, such as IVSA merchandise, auctions, and other activities. So please stay tuned. And the last one is further implementation of IVSA strategic plan 2024-2029. So in this next semester, we have to do other activities for the DAD team. So please stay tuned for these opportunities too. Next slide. And yeah, that's all from my side. So if you have any questions or comments, whatever, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Ignacio, for that wonderful update on the activities of the DAD. Do we have any questions for Ignacio? I see one hand up, and that is Susan.
Susan Harel, IVSA Nepal. Thank you for the question. So I'd like to specifically talk about Be Kind Award. For us as an IVSA Nepal, it has been really difficult for us to send money outside of Nepal due to our monetary regulations. And we have tried to highlight these situations even with IVSA Global for this term while paying fee and also while sending a money that we have collected for Be Kind Award in last term. Uh, Even in this term, we have, I'm just reading out from my team, I'm sorry. Even in last term, we have done two events to raise a fee of around 12 euro, which we are not able to transport because of monetary restrictions from our side. And even in this term, we have done two events till now, and we want to support and participate and Be Kind Award, but we have restrictions from our side. So is there any way for us to be included in this program and making some changes in the rules to pay the Be Kind Award money that had been collected?
Thank you for that question, Susan. I believe Tammy has an answer.
Tammy Negro, IVSA Exco, yes, and I just want to comment on something that both Ignacio and the previous speaker and I have discussed with the DAD of 2 years ago, the chair, that the Be Kind Award, which is well, it's very kind for MMOs to donate their funds to the development fund to continue supporting more MMOs. You can also participate in the Be Kind Award by um, supporting to the community without having to send the funds to the development fund. So as long as the activity is support for the community, you can also participate in the Be Kind Award.
Thank you, Tammy, for that clarification. And yes, as the previous speaker pointed out, not necessarily do you need to donate to the development fund to be part of the Be Kind Award. You could also just donate locally and have proof of the donation as well as the activities created. Is there any other question for our DAD? Seeing no questions, we will move on to our last agenda point of the day, and that is the external relations officer update, and that is Ishan.
Ishan Acharya, IVSA Exco, bidding number 11. Now, thank you to everyone who has stuck around for this long. I know it's been long, and I promise I'll finish mine within 2 hours. So thank you for your attention. Okay, so here is the update from your friendly neighborhood ERO. That is me. And yeah, we can get started. Next slide, please. Okay, so usually we say thank you to our team at the end of the presentation, but my team has been extremely helpful. At the start, I didn't know how to involve who where, but as the term has gone on, we've developed a bit of functioning. So thank you to my team. I have also put a shout out to Matthias because he was my secretary for about 4 months of the term before he unfortunately had to resign, and his replacement Peter has been phenomenal. So I am very glad. I know Wendy and Peter are there and Tammy is looking at them. So thank you guys. And thank you to Alicia and Joel as well. All of you have been wonderful and it's been quite fun working with you guys. Next slide, please. Okay, so job of the ERO is external relations. Although I may not be meddling too much in internal affairs with IVSA, external affairs is my forte. So, and how do we go about with that? If some of you attended my ERO workshop a few days back, I told you a bit of the strategies that we do. Some of that is meeting with partners and sponsors, both current, potential, and new. And a big part of that is going to events. IVSA has a separate budget for each position, and fortunately, I get to go to some events. So here are the 2 events that I attended on behalf of IVSA this term. More on this a little bit later in the presentations that Tammy and I will do. But we attended the Wasava Congress 25 in Rio. We did the General Assembly, partners and sponsors. The cool part of it was IVSA volunteers and the IVSA booth. I have photos of that at the end of the presentation, but like I said, I won't yap about it right now because we will yap about it tomorrow. And we also attended the WOA Global Conference on Biosecurity Threat Reduction, which was in Geneva in October 2025. There was also a booth there, which was pretty cool. The 5 representatives who were present, you can see over there, along with Dr. Emmanuel Suberan, who is the General Director of WOA. And in the Wasava photo, there's Dr. Jim Berry and Dr. Oscar Umana. Both of them were also, I'm sorry, I may have got the name wrong, but Dr. Oscar, he was extremely nice. And yeah, next slide, please. Okay, so a little bit about our partners and sponsors, who we deal with, how we deal with them. So in terms of our sponsors, of course, our main one, Purina Institute. You met Jason very recently in Purina's workshop. You could see that he was quite happy with how we work, and we were also excessively happy with how they work with us. They are the diamond sponsor. We do periodic meetings with them every couple of months. We met them in person at Wasava, and we also met them at VMX in Florida. We had the MO competition with them as a part of our MOU. We completed the one with IVSA Italy, which was ongoing from the last term. And the one with IVSA India is ongoing. It has completed, and we are currently contacting the winners. Some of them are in this meeting. So congratulations, guys. And Purina is very happy with the initiative of IVSA India. So kudos to IVSA India. Yay. Okay. And Right, they've been working with MOs, they've been working with SCOVI, so shout out to Deep. You've been very good with Purina, so thank you. And yeah, next slide, please.
Mislan, aç portability paise.
Someone's on unmute. Thank you, Lana, for your inputs. All right. Sponsors. So we have Royal Canin and Mars. They are also one of our main sponsors. And we also have periodic meetings with them. We signed the MOU this term. So that credit goes to Felix and Nico and the rest of the Euro team last term. We are doing our best to, keep up the good work from there and keep them happy. I believe that Doraika and Julie, who are their representatives, are reasonably happy right now. And we're in constant communication, still adapting to how they are doing, how we are doing. Yeah, a little bit here and there. Next slide, please. We have some of our partners here. All of them are extremely wonderful because that's how we get opportunities for our members, you guys, and me included in that. So yeah, they are extremely wonderful to us, and a lot of them participated. So I'm very happy for them to participate in this event that we're having. Unfortunately, it wasn't in person. Boo-hoo, that's pretty sad. But yeah, hopefully a lot of them come to Nepal as well. We are constantly on the lookout for new partners. We are drafting MOUs for them, and then we send it to them, and then we, do a little bit of a front and back, after which we sign the MOU. So the main two partners that we are currently in talks with are WAVMA, the Aquatic Animal Veterinary Medical Association, FAO, and more. So we are always on the lookout for new partnerships. Like I said, reach out to me at this email, externalrelations@ivsa.org, and we can, try and make new partners. Yeah. Next slide, please. Okay, now this is the fun part of my presentation. These are some ERO moments that I'm grateful for. Like I said, my secretary is very nice. Thank you, guys. The photo on the bottom left is Tammy and I in Zurich in Switzerland with two IVSA legends. One of them you may recognize if you've been paying attention through this event that we're having. That is Anya Chichewicz. I can't pronounce her surname, but Anya, who is our past president, and Luren, who is a past vice president. They gave us a lot of tips about what we can do now, and they've always been on like very good helping hand, which I already said in my speech for Anya. That's me, Tammy, and the booth manager at Vasawa, the booth manager also called Ika Desai, who is our lovely co-chair. She was a huge help in Vasawa, and though it wasn't her job, as because she wasn't representing IVSA, she was representing Vasawa One Health Committee. She was also representing IVSA, and she was a huge help. So amazing work to Tammy and Ika for that. Again, the global conference where we were with some representatives from BOA. All these senior people have been extremely supportive, and that is one of the things I'm very grateful for meeting them. So participate in IVSA more, and hopefully you also get to meet some people like this. The photo on the top right is the IVSA volunteers from the Wasawa Congress. A lot of them were from either Brazil, Poland, Peru, and there was one from Algeria. And of course, there were two Indians over there. So we had a wonderful time. IVSA is all about meeting such new people. So I was extremely grateful for that, little dinner we had, and fun time we had there, doing Every Time We Touch the dance in a random pub in Brazil, in Rio. So that was lovely. And finally, the booth, in a strict work sense, visibility really matters. So having a booth was great, visibility to all the companies in Wasawa. Next slide, please. And thank you from your friendly neighborhood ERO. Just some things that you need to keep in mind if you want to help external relations as IVSA members. Follow all of the IVSA pages that have been presented by the PRC recently. Follow and engage with the posts. Don't just follow them, engage with them, because they care about likes and comments and all this stuff. So reach is what matters. One more thing that you really need to engage with that IVSA members are not doing right now is the bulletin. So please, if your chairs or something like that, please put your work in the bulletin. And if you're members, open the bulletin, submit whatever submissions are asked for, and just engage with it. So these are two things that you can do on your own part. And third, don't feel free to criticize me and the team. We are servants of IVSA essentially. So if there's something, please feel free to just, say that, hey, I don't like this. If there's some suggestion you want to give, that is something that is very welcome. So please send that out as well. That is all from me. Signing out, your friendly neighborhood ERO. Stay tuned for more. Thanks.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation and update on our external relations for IVSA. Is there any question for Ishan? Seeing none, I would like to thank. Oh, we have a question, Adamu.
Thank you. Abakar Adamu, IVSA Nigeria. I don't know if my question is for ERO or the MOD. I actually want to ask if there is any partner with any of the publishers, let's say textbook, veterinary studies, textbook publishers, as we from this region would want to see how we could write to any organizations of those publishers if they could help in donations of some veterinary textbooks like veterinary anatomy, internal medicine, pathology, and the rest of that to our MO, as we would want to, make that available for some of our members to enrich their knowledge in the veterinary practice. So if it is the ERO or the MOD, I don't know who to direct the questions to, but I would want to know so that we can follow up after this GA. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. The floor goes to Ishan.
Ishan Acharya, IVSA Exco. Yeah, thank you for your question, Adamu. So our current partners and sponsors have their own set of educational materials available for IVSA. For instance, there are some materials from Wasawa that are accessible to IVSA members. There are some materials from other IVSA partners as well as sponsors like Purina. We were in talks with Merck for the who make the Merck's veterinary manual, but unfortunately there is no update on that as of now. However, we are open also to your suggestions. If you have some specific publisher that you want to get in touch with, that perhaps we can together talk to them, then please don't hesitate to reach out to me and then we can make that happen, because this side of things is a little bit unexplored, I agree. So yeah, we can definitely build on that.
Thank you for that answer. I would also like to have a small addition to this because this is an exciting topic for me. 2 terms ago, when I was DAD, we did a massive book donation drive from Bisawa, where Bisawa donated us about 400 kilos of textbooks for exotic animals, pathology, wildlife, aquatic, and a bunch of other subjects. And these books were donated directly by Bisawa to Vet Books for Africa, which is another NGO that functions in Africa, and we usually have a very close partnership with them over the last few years. Pre-COVID, we used to also have regular book donation drives. But as a suggestion for the current team of officials as well as the next one, if the DAD is interested in setting up another book donation drive, another book donation program with either a publisher or an organization like Wasawa, Bisawa, or one of the bigger ones, one of the bigger organizations, I would encourage you all to do so. I think this is something Ignacio can discuss with Ishan and Tammy as part of his future projects. And if Adamu would be interested in being involved in this, I think you can also reach out to local publishers in Nigeria and see what they have available for you to offer. All right, any other questions for Ariado? Seeing none, I would like to thank the delegates for sticking around for so long for an extended period of 45 minutes extra from the GA planning. The chair will now entertain a motion to adjourn the GA for the day. Ishan?
Ishan Acharya, IVSA Exco, I so move.
Second.
I see a lot of excited seconds. The motion on the floor is to adjourn the GA for the day. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Seeing none, the GA is adjourned at 4:49 p.m. UTC. I hope you all had a wonderful experience. I hope you all were engaged in the discussions that took place today, and I hope you all had a wonderful time. We will continue our GA tomorrow. I will apologize in advance in case we do go over time tomorrow because there's a very high possibility we might. So just in case, I would ask you all to be prepared to have some extra time again tomorrow as well. Thank you. Have a nice rest of the day, nice rest of the evening or night, and see you all tomorrow. And Dr. Fortune, no, we did not go on for 7 hours. We just went on for 4.5. The recording went on for longer,